Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel JJ's EduTech. So today's our topic will be circular turnings and banking of the roads. Uh, see, vehicle go through the circular paths and the several turnings, so they travel by making a circular arc. So there must be some force that is existing on a vehicle, fine, and that is providing the acceleration obviously. So if a vehicle is just moving in a horizontal circular path, it means the resultant force is horizontal. And if it is moving on a road, if that vehicle is moving on a road like this, it means there will be that will be the normal force that is acting vertically in upward direction, fine. So what will be the horizontal force? See, there will be some horizontal force obviously, na. So that is considered an Fs, and that is what we call as a static force, fine. See, a static force is a very important concept over here. See, you have just learned about this concept, that is mu sine, fine. If your external force, if it is greater than this of a Fs, if external force that is applied it is greater than the static force, then the vehicle or any object that starts sliding on the surface, fine. And during that time, that frictional force goes on decreasing. So while vehicle is moving, and when the external force is greater than this Fs, it means when vehicle is moving on a road, some amount of frictional force is decreasing obviously, but there is some of the forces now that is opposing that motion, that is what we called as a kinetic forces, kinetic friction, that is denoted as a Fk, fine. And its condition is U is equals to, and that is Uk, that is the Un is a coefficient of the friction. See, one scene is very important in the circular motion is all about the centripetal forces, fine. Centripetal forces, see, centripetal forces, these are the forces which are acting at the center, fine. If a word centripetal does come, it simply means it is acting in the center, fine. See, while any of a car that moves in the circular path, na, they have tendency, they just get skids towards that center, they just skid, they have a tendency, basically what happens, they skid just in outward direction, sorry. They have tendency that when you just turn a car in a circular path, they have tendency that tire get skid in an outward direction, and that frictional force opposite that outward movement towards the center. So thus for a safe turn, the condition must be satisfied, and that what is the condition that must be satisfied is uh, F is equals to mv square upon r. See, from where we get this expression is simply S delta S is equals to R and this value. So delta S upon delta T, and delta S upon delta T in R is equals to delta theta upon delta T. So that is what we are getting is that V is equals to R omega, fine. V is equals to R omega. And what is this omega? It's an angular velocity, it is a linear velocity, and when a particle is moving around a circular path, it means that is having a radius obviously, na? So that is the radius. So V is equals to what we call as an R omega. And second thing, you have also learned about the expression of a that acceleration, that is equals to omega R. So A is equals to, so that is V upon R omega R square, just right here, omega R square. A is equals to omega square R, so that is multiplied by R, and A is equals to V square upon R square, that is multiplied by R, that is this. So A is equals to what? V square upon R, fine. So as you know that F is equals to M into A, so F is equals to M into V square by R, that is what we call as a centripetal force which acts at the center. This force is acting at the center, that is what we call as a centripetal force over here. Is it fine? This is known as centripetal force. See, a stone is tied, let us consider one example again. Let us consider a stone is tied, fine. A stone is tied, it is moving in a circular path. So that child is holding this string and it is moving in a circular path, the stone is moving in a circular path. So during that time, the centripetal force is being provided by the tension of the string, Fine. Similarly, the planets revolve round the sun, so from where they are getting the centripetal force, they are getting it from the gravitational forces. Fine. So gravitational forces are providing them the centripetal force for the circular rotation. Is it fine? Uh, so now, what happens actually? See, uh, we have just considered that a car is moving in a circular path. Fine, we have just considered this car is moving in a circular path. It has tendency the tire is skid in outward direction, but there are the forces which are making it toward the center of the force, friction forces which opposes that movement. Fine, that is the center of the force. But what happens when the circular turn is made at a very high speed? So during that such type of sharp turns, the condition may becomes very harmful. So during that time, to avoid that dependence of the friction, basically what happens, to avoid that matter of the friction, basically what happens, the roads are banked at the outward direction like this. Like this, roads are banked. These roads are banked in the outward direction so that the turn can be made very easily. Fine, just to avoid the dependence of the friction. Fine. So see, normally when you are just moving in a simple path now, the car having mg mass. Fine. Similarly, during the that time they are having a normal, and that is the time again having this fs. Fine, that is what we call as a static friction. So now, so now now so now I'll just be moving to the practical example. So now this is the center, and that is what we call as a road, and the car is moving in this direction. Fine. So there is a friction forces at the center. Fine, and the speed of the car is considered as a v over here. Okay, now, so now let us move to the diagram, which is very important point over here. So now car position is like that, and it is a banked road. Fine, this is complete a banked road. Now at this point, now here it is a normal forces, a contact force between the tire and the road. Similarly here it is mg. Fine, that is a downward force, and one is the friction force f. Now let us take the component of all the forces. Fine. So now here we are just taking the component of the forces. Now first of all we just consider for the mg. Fine. See, like that. So now here it is 90 degree, here it is theta, 90 minus theta, and here theta. Fine. So what will be the component over here? Let us consider here. So it is a perpendicular, it is a base, and it is what we call as hypotenuse. So now here we'll get the mg sine theta component. Fine, and here we'll be getting mg cos theta. Now we'll just taking the component for this force. Fine. So now force is our resultant over here. So for the force, let us consider like this, and one component like this. Fine. So here it is f. If it is a 90 minus theta, then it will be what? A theta. See, you can see this angle. See, it's just making an alternate opposite angles. Fine. Here it is theta. So now at this point, what will be the value of theta? That is the f. 90 minus theta, again similar here. So here it is 90 minus theta. So here it is the base and the hypotenuse. So the angle will be here f sine theta, and similarly here will be f cos theta. Fine. So now after this point, we'll just resolve for the n, that is a contact forces. Fine. So here it is the contact force. So now resolve the component for this contact force over here. So it's a resultant over here. and now we can do like this. See, like this we can find out if it is n. See, again here it is theta. Now see, here it is theta, it means this angle will be what? Again theta. Fine, and this angle will be 90 minus theta. So here you will get n cos theta, and similarly again extending like this you will get n sin theta. Is it fine? Now see, there is not an acceleration in a vertical direction, so the net force will be considered as a 0 along that direction. So now we'll be just considering, see, look at this figure, and we'll just be considering about the vertical forces. So now see, vertical forces are n cos theta. Similarly at this point there are two forces here, that is what we call mg and f sin theta. Fine. So n cos theta is equals to mg plus f sin theta. Fine, that is our first equation. Now the second equation, that's an horizontal component. So horizontal component, you can look upon it. Horizontal component, at this point only the centripetal force is working at the same time. Fine, that is what mv square upon r. So you can write n sin theta. So you can look over here, see, n sin theta, and see, look in n sin theta plus f cos theta. Fine, n sin theta plus f cos theta, that is equals to mv square upon r. And as you know that the static friction should be less than this value, we have considered this. Fine, and to achieve the maximum, when you want to achieve the maximum Vmax should be a maximum value, during that time f is equals to mu, and it is the condition where you can achieve the maximum velocity. Fine. So now move on to the expression again. See now here, so what is the value of this f? Now we are putting what? This f. So this f is equals to mu, and to achieve the maximum, when you need to achieve the maximum velocity, that you have to put over here. So now at the value of the n you are putting mu s n sin theta plus f cos theta, sorry, and I have just okay, just putting the value f is equals to mu s n, putting in equation 1. And what is the equation 1? That is n cos theta mg plus sin theta. Fine. So now n cos theta is equals to mg plus mu s n, that is sin theta. So that is our fourth equation. So now just n cos theta, just taking this value towards this, minus mu s n sin theta equals to mg, and you'll get the value of n is equals to mg upon cos theta minus mu s sin theta. That is the fifth equation. Now putting this value into the second equation, putting value of n in equation second. And what is the second equation? See here, it's n sin theta plus mu s n, that is cos theta, that is equals to mv square. That was your second equation, so we are putting this value. So just take n common from it, so we can write like this in a simple manner. Now just putting this value to this equation, mg upon cos theta minus mu s sin theta, that is sin theta plus mu s, that is equals to mv square upon r. fine. So mg sine theta so here to press cos theta also. Just make a change over here, just write cos theta also. I've just forgotten to write here cos theta, and here to write the cos theta. So now mg plus, that is mu s cos theta upon cos theta minus mu s sin theta is equals to mv square upon r. So now just taking out the value of sine common from it, I've just taken out the sine common, sine theta, so that is 1 plus mu s tan theta, and similarly taking out the sine from over here also, sorry, not sine, just make a change, not sine, just take the cos theta out from it, fine, just take the cos theta out from it. So here will come the tan theta, and that is plus mu s. So here from again cos theta I have taken out, that is sine mu s tan theta, and that is equals to mv square upon r. So cos theta will be cancelled out, and from here m and m will also cancel out from here. So what you'll observe here, so gr tan theta plus mu s upon 1 minus mu s tan theta, that is equals to v. That is the condition for the maximum velocity, so you'll get here maximum. So in case when the static friction value is termed as 0, during that time you will be getting the Vmax is equals to gr tan theta. So at that time you will be getting this value. Now from this equation, as you may see, at this speed the frictional force is now needed to provide the necessary centripetal forces. So driving at this speed on the bank road will cause the later wear and tear of the tire, fine. So when you are just driving at this speed, you will just be getting the rear and wear and tear of the tire. The same equation tells us that the when V is less than the V0, the frictional forces will be up the slope, that the car can be parked only if the tan theta is less than equals to mu s. That is what we call as a static friction coefficient, and the tan theta, that is an angle. See, some conditions are to be described over here is that see the magnitude of the friction now, just a simple case, and the magnitude of friction, that is the Fs now, that cannot ever exceed, it should not exceed, and that is cannot exceed mu s and m, fine. So we are just considering that Fs is less than equals to mu s mg. So for a safer turn, if you need a safer turn from here, for a safer turn, what we'll do just mv square upon r, that is less than equals to mu s m and g, fine. So from here, that m and n will be cancelled out from each other, this m and this m will be cancelled out. So at the time you will be getting that mu s is greater than equals to v square upon rg. That is the condition for a safer turn, that is must be satisfied, fine. So thanks a lot for listening me out over here. If I get any doubts, just comment me. Any of the changes to be made in the lecture, just comment me out. If you like my channel, just subscribe me, and thanks a lot.